Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 2024 Demolition League. Finished up the final three games of the first scheduled block. Games 13, 14, and 15 were finished offline, so I thought I'd show what happened. Toronto came into the game against Oakland 0-2, Oakland 2-0, but Toronto said not this time. They jumped all over Ross Stripling. He gave up 6 runs in 3 innings. They chased him early, and Kikuchi got the win. I actually let him go 7 innings. I didn't intend to. I meant to stop him at 6, but he went 7, and Toronto got the win. Now, a couple things did happen. The catcher, Servin, is injured for 5 games, so he is on the injured list, and Danny Jansen has been brought up as the backup catcher. For the Oakland A's, Geloff at second base, he is injured for 4 games. I have not yet made a roster move for them to see who's going to do what as far as the roster goes. But Toronto did win it 6-3. Now Toronto's 1-2. Oakland is 2-1. Game number 14, Miami and Minnesota, and it was the Twins making the sweep. This was a great game. I wish I had played this on video. 1-0, and actually the 1 run came on a walk-off home run by Ryan Jeffers to start the bottom of the 9th against Andrew Nardi. He just came into the game. His first batter faced was a home run to Jeffers, and that gave the Twins a 1-0 win and the sweep of the series. They were 3-0, and Miami is 0-3. One note from Miami: Fortis is injured for 3 games. He's one of the catchers, so he will be coming out, and I'll have to go to the roster and pull another catcher out to fill that spot. But nice game, 1-0, nice and clean, and then the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. The last game, Game 15, Kansas City and San Diego. Both teams coming to the game 1-1, and it was the Padres jumping all over Singer of Kansas City. He gave up 7 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Musgrove went 2/3 of an inning, and then he got the double play here. But when he walked Perez, it was a 6-12 or 6-10 or whatever his injury rating was, and so he is going to miss his next start. So he only went 2/3 of an inning. The Padre bullpen had to fill in the other 8 1/3. They struggled a little bit, but the run support was there, and the Padres won it 8-6 to take a 2-game, to win that series 2-1. So now we're at game number 16, and I can tell you that the game 16, if we look at the schedule at the next block, these are the 3 games that are, or 3 series that are going to be played. The 5 series in these 3 games: the Dodgers and the Marlins, the Cubs and Toronto, Minnesota, Oakland, New York, San Diego, Kansas City, Pittsburgh. So we're going to play New York, San Diego. That will be game number 16. And I haven't filled anything out on this score sheet at all. It is completely blank. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is I'm going to be doing my own lineups. I'm not going to be looking at what the teams did previously or what they did in real world or whatever like that. I'm just going to make the best lineup I can make, trying to honor player usage and so forth. What I can tell you is that Michael King is the starter for San Diego. In 2024, he was 13-9 with a 2.95 earned run average. And for the New York Yankees, it is Luis Gil. And Gil was 15-7 with a 3.50 earned run average in 2024. That's as far as I can go, because now we're going to start introducing the concept of rest rolls. That's why I couldn't do the lineup yet, because I don't know who might need to be rested. So basically, if you look at this is on the miscellaneous charts, the flip side of the sacrifice bunt chart. Way down here at the bottom, it's got solitaire rest chart, solitaire rest starting lineup usage chart. So I'm going to take 1d6, and we're going to roll it, and that's going to determine which positions in the lineup based on the previous game that need to rest. So we pull out the Yankees' previous game, and we have their previous lineup. So we know any of these guys here are subject to rest if we choose to do that. So, but how do we know who's going to rest? Well, I try to figure out a lineup, but I'm not going to put it in paper yet until I do the rest rolls. But I need to know the lineup in order to know who has to rest. So if we look at the Yankee lineup, this is a little cumbersome on the first time, I know. Look at the Yankees. We'll pull out all the players they have available. No one is injured, so they're all available. And we'll do it by position. Where our 2 catchers that they have available are Trevino and Austin Wells. And in the previous game, Trevino was the catcher. So if we start Austin Wells, then he's not subject to any kind of rust roll whatsoever. So it's his turn to catch. So he really is not affected. So don't have to worry about him. But we're going to have Gleyber Torres lead off, Juan Soto in right, Aaron Judge in center, Giancarlo Stanton the DH, Anthony Rizzo at first, Anthony Volpe at short, Alex Verdugo in left. We're going to have Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm sorry, we have Austin Wells catching and Oswaldo Cabrera at third. So those are our 9 guys that we're going to choose that we want to start. So we're going to go through this rest roll and see if any of these guys need to rest. So first thing we do is take the D6 and check our number. We get a 3, and that says second base, catcher, or left field. We already said catcher doesn't have to rest because Trevino caught last game and he's already not starting. So he's eliminated from that check. But it's second base and left field. So Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, is subject to rest. And the left fielder, Alex Verdugo, is subject to rest. So those 2 guys may need to rest, but it's all based on number of plate appearances and, of course, a die roll. So Torres, 587. This is where you got to do a little math. That can be a little scary. 587 at bats, because it says on the chart, total of players at bats and walks. So we got to add up the at bats and the walks. Okay. So 587 and 65. When you put those together, that is 642, rather, 642. So if you look over here, if you're over 600, you never have to rest. So that means Gleyber Torres does not have to rest. All right, Verdugo, 559 and 49. That is also over 600, so he does not have to rest. So since the players that we're checking for rest played so much, they don't have to rest, and so they're not going to be dinged for that. So the Yankees can go with their full lineup. Now the Padres might be a different story. We'll have to wait and see. Let's look at the last game the Padres played, and of course that's on the back of this paper. So we're looking there, and against the right-hander heel, let's see. We typically would do Bogarts, Tatis, Cronenworth, Machado, Profar, Peralta, Kim, Jackson Merrill, and the catcher Campusano. Now, Higashioka caught the last game, so Campusano is immune from having to be rested because he didn't play last game. But we're going to roll again on the rest roll and see what position is being chosen to be rested. It's a 2, so it's shortstop, right field, and first base. Shortstop, there's right field, Tatis. Shortstop is Kim. And first base, that is Cronenworth. So those 3 guys are subject to be rested. So let's look at the at-bats for Tatis. 398 and 32 when he add his walks. So that's 430. So we come over here to 430. We find what range that is. It's right here. 1 to 15. 1 to 15. If we roll a 1 to 15, he has to rest. He will have to rest if we roll a 1 to 15 on the D20. And we do. So we cannot use Tatis. He has to rest. He can pinch hit, but he cannot start. So I'll have to find another right fielder for him. Now, Ha-Seong Kim. Oops. This side. 403 and 58 is 461. And that's going to bring us right here, 1 to 13. So 1 to 13, he's got to rest. 14, he's exempt, so he does not have to rest. All right, and last but not least is Cronenworth. 577, 60. He's over 600, so he does not have to rest. So the only guy that has to rest on our rest roll check is Fernando Tatis, and he's the right fielder. He's played right field all 3 games for San Diego. So now I will need a new right fielder for San Diego and possibly rearrange the lineup because Tatis was a second place batter. If we're bringing in a substitute, I might not want him to bat that high. So we shall see who we have available. Looks like Jose Azucar will come in and play right field, but I'm not going to bat him second. I'm going to have to bat him in a different position. So let's flip this back over. And then now that we know who has to rest and who doesn't have to rest, we can make our lineups. And like I said, it's making it my own instead of having to, instead of going by the as played is half the fun, in my opinion. But maybe I don't make the lineups very good. I don't know. But we're going to find out. So, that's too canted, isn't it? All right, so the Yankees are going to be pretty straightforward because they didn't have anybody that fell into a rest category. So they're going to go with Torres at second. It's pretty a standard lineup that I've been using for them. Torres at second. He's a 4, E19, and an 11. Juan Soto is in right field. He is a 3, -3, and an E2 with a 12. Aaron Judge in center. And he is a 3, -4, and an E0. Speed of 13. Stanton's a DH. He only runs at an 8. He's extremely slow. Rizzo's at first. And Rizzo is a 3E5 with a 9. Volpe, the shortstop, will bat 6th. And he is a 1E16. Verdugo, since he did not need to rest, can go ahead and hit and play in the lineup. He's a 2, -2, E1, and a 12. And then Austin Wells, the catcher. He's got a T rating of 10. It's a 3, -1, E8. And he runs at an 11. And last but not least, Cabrera at third base. He did not play in the previous game. He's a 2E15. And he's a 13. All right, so they had Birdie playing third base in the previous game. So there we go. Yankees are set. They've got their starting pitcher and their lineup, so they are all set. And now that we know the catcher rating Wells is a -1, Heel is a -3, so he has a -4 on his pitcher-catcher hold rating. All right, now it's the Padres' turn, and again, Mr. Fernando Tatis has to rest, so he cannot play right field. So we're going to have to find somebody to bat third. We have to juggle the lineup just a bit. Let's see. Might move Cronenworth up to 2. So we're going to have Bogarts, Cronenworth, Machado. And then we'll have, let's see, it's Peralta. We'll have Peralta. And then we'll have Profar. Heel is a right-hander, so we're leaning more towards left-handers. We have Jackson Merrill hits 6th. Kim hits 7th. Azucar 8th, and Campusano 9th. So that's the way we'll play it. And hello to everyone. I'm sorry, I kind of was focused on this and wasn't watching the chat, but hello to all you guys out there. Ben, Bob, Ernest, Sean, Alan, and anybody else I missed. I think I got everybody on that. Yeah, now we're ready. Since we had the rest rolls, now can't use Tatis. He's eligible to pinch hit after the 7th inning, but he cannot start. So, all right. So now with that in mind, that's why I couldn't make the lineup ahead of time, because I don't know who's going to get rested out and who's not. And I couldn't just put the lineup in and scratch out Tatis and put it in his replacement here, because I don't want his replacement batting second. It's a weaker guy, so I'd rather move up other guys that are better hitters. So Cronenworth at first base, he is a 2E8. And unfortunately, do it this way, you have to look at my chicken scratch, but can't help it. Machado is, let's see here. Machado is at third base. 2E12 with the 12. Peralta is in left field. I'm sorry, no, he's in right field, of course, taking the place of. He's in right field, taking the place of Tatis. So 4 minus 1 E3 with an 11. All right, we got Profar. He has played left field the first 3 games. He will actually DH in this game. It's 12. Let's see. We do Kim at short. 2E16. 15. Jackson Merrill will be the center fielder. 2 minus 1 E3 and a 15. And I think I'm going to swap these guys. I'm going to have Campusano bat 8th instead of 9th. He's a T1. Generally, your 9th guy can sometimes be a secondary leadoff guy, so I want Azucar as more speed to bat 9th. He's a 4 plus 1 E6. And then Azucar will play left field. And he's a 2 minus 2 E3 and a 16. All right, so the Padre lineup is complete now. So now we can get everything back in its proper place, hopefully. All right, so let's get the bench players over here. And, of course, Tatis is on the bench for this one. One note, if we look at the previous game from the Yankees, Hamilton went 2 innings, so I'm going to make him ineligible for this game. All right, I think I'm back now. I think it's telling me I'm back. So, silly old internet. That's what I get for living out in the country. Sometimes the internet's not the best in the world. Sorry about that, folks. Hope you all got to see whatever, when I finished up my lineup. I don't know when it kicked out, but I was doing my lineups and my ballpark effects and pitching matchups and all that stuff. So, hopefully, we are back to stay, hopefully. All right, so Michael King will get his first start. Again, he's limited to 6 innings because it's his first start of the season. Oh, you were sub out? Oh, okay, wow. You guys missed a lot then. I didn't catch that it was spinning like that. Because on my laptop, it doesn't show that. I got to look on my phone and watch it play back on my phone just so I could see what you guys were seeing. That's when I looked over and saw that. So basically, I had to sub out Tatis for the rest. I brought in Azucar is the bench player that came off the bench. He goes to left field. Peralta goes to right field. All right. King is a -2 pitcher-catcher hold. Heel is a -4. So this is game number 16. Singles are 1 to 5 lefties, 1 to 2 righties, and 8s for both left and right here at Petco Park. And we're ready to go. Gleyber Torres. Both teams enter the game 2-1. Well, I don't know if it's logical or not. I try to be. I'm not Mr. Spock by any means, that's for sure. All right, we're underway. Hopefully this thing holds on. 3-9. That is a fly to left field. That's one away. I was going to play this game while I scored on the computer, but I'm afraid. I've got to take the time and put the lineup in the computer now, and I don't want to. With the way this thing is going, I just want to play. I don't want to be messing around or taking my time or whatever because I don't know what else is going to happen. Here's Soto, 4-5. It's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Kim. He's a 2E16. 2 and a 16. He'll get to that. And E16 and a 13. E16, there's a 14, but no 13, so a good play for Kim. I don't need no stinking computer. I can put this in the computer tomorrow morning. I don't need to worry about it right now. All right, here is Aaron Judge. 6-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. So we're looking now at Bogarts, a 3E12. 3 and a 14 is good. But that's a 16. That could be trouble. E12 and a 16. Nope, 15, 17, and 18 are there, but not a 16. So Bogarts gets by and throws Judge out, and it's 1, 2, 3 inning go the Yankees. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is New York nothing, and the Padres coming to bat for Luis Gil. Gil in 2024 again was 15-7, 29 starts, 3.50 ERA. Again, 6 is his max. His fatigue is a 5, but 6 is his absolute max, no matter how he's pitching. Here's Xander Bogaerts. 4-5, and that's a strikeout. Good start for Gil. 1 down for Jake Cronenworth. Hello, Alex. Yeah, it's like I said, it's my internet on my laptop is showing it's okay, but it doesn't give me a strength signal per se. But I'm hoping it's okay. I have a I bought this thing a couple years ago. I've had it right outside the door here. It's supposed to be some sort of a Wi-Fi booster from downstairs to upstairs. So normally I don't have that problem, but tonight, for whatever reason, I am. 3-6 for Cronenworth, and that's a 1-9 home run. That's a 1. It's gone. Hopefully the video didn't blur too much to see that. 3-6 for Jake Cronenworth. 1-9 is a home run, and that's a 1. So Jake Cronenworth with the home run, and the Padres lead it 1-0. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. So Cronenworth gets it done with the home run. I will pull up the Strat computer enough to get the stats so I can see how many home runs these guys have had. I think it should be Cronenworth's first home run, I would think. It's only the 4th game, so it's probably his first home run. But I could be wrong. Cronenworth, let's see, on the replay. Yep, his first home run, his second run batted in. Okay. Brings up Machado. Machado's hitting 385, no homers, 2 driven in. 5-7 is another strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Gil. And that'll send up Peralta. Peralta on the replay so far is hitting 333, just 1 for 3. He's only had 3 at-bats. No homers or run driven in. Like I said, most of these stats are very, very irrelevant because of such few at-bats. 1-9, that's a single. Single, but Peralta will not be going anywhere. And Jurickson Profar steps up in the first havoc roll. Nothing going on. Profar is struggling. He's 1 for 10. Hitting up even 100, no home runs and no runs batted in. It's a 3-9, and that's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. But the Padres score first on the home run from Cronenworth. At the end of 1, it's San Diego 1, New York 0. And King back out will face Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees. 4-6, and that is a strikeout. Anthony Rizzo, 5-3, and that is a ground ball pitcher X. King is a 1 E8, so we know he's going to get to it with a 1. Just the E8 to worry about. E8 and an 8 shouldn't be a problem on a pitcher. E8, let's look at this. A lot of errors on E8 for pitchers for whatever reason. 6-15, 16, 17, and 18, but no 8. So good play for King to take care of Rizzo. 2 down. Here's Volpe. 5-10. Volpe is a ballpark single check. It's only 1-2, and that's a 13, so he will fly to center field to end the inning. The injury chances on both pitchers are 6-12. I looked that up previously, so if there's a 6-12 roll, we will check for pitcher injury. On the bottom of the second, and Hassan Kim steps to the plate. 2-5, and that is a base on balls. First walk issued by Gil, and Kim might be looking to run despite the -4. 2 through 5 or a 12. That's 4. He's going to go. 19 being held as a 17. Minus 4 is a 13. 1 to 13, still a 65% chance. But he got caught. So Kim a little bit too aggressive right there, and Volpe put the tag on, one away. But if you watch my replays, you know I like to be aggressive with base stealers. If it's a 50-50 shot, I usually opt to go. All right, here is Jackson Merrill, 3-8, pops to short. Could be to the demise of some teams, but sometimes it works out for the benefit of the team because they get aggressive and get people in scoring position. So 2 down for Campusano. 6-6, and that's a fly to right, hauled in by Soto, and the inning's over. So at the end of 2, we got a 1-0 Padre lead. That's correct, Ben. Big risk. Like the old saying, takes money to make money, right? So here's Verdugo. 4-12. That's a fly to left, and that's hauled in out there by Azocar. 1 away. Austin Wells. 2-6 for Wells. He strikes out. That's the second strikeout for King. And I admit I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Michael King pitch before, so I don't know anything about him. I'm vaguely familiar with most everyone else, but not King or Heel, either starting pitchers. I don't know much about either one of them. 2-7, and as a ground ball to short. So that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. So King has been impressive, that's for sure. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. That's correct, Sarah. You can't be scared. You can't be timid. You gotta act like you've been there before and you've won before. So the odds see fear in your eyes. Here's Azocar, 3-6, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Mr. Heel. That will bring up Mr. Bogarts. 6-4. Ground ball shortstop X Volpe is an E16. He's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. He's just an E16. And on an E16 shortstop, 14 and 17, the only 2 that can hurt him. And that's a 5, so it's a rare play. So now we got to roll and see if it's a G1 for one of these not so rare plays. So it's a 1 and an 18. That's a G1 rare play, which is not so rare. There's no run on first to begin with, so we don't have to worry about it. It's just a ground ball. And that's going to be 2 away. My bucket list is to eventually make a rare play chart for Strat-O-Matic, but one day maybe. Cronenworth, 3-12, and that's a ground ball to second. 3 up and 3 down by Heel. You go to the 4th, and it's still 1-0 Padres. Only run is a Cronenworth home run. And now top of the order, Gleyber Torres. Due up for the Yankees. 3-5, and that is a strikeout. And that is strikeout number 3 for Mr. King. Here's Juan Soto. 6-5 left-handed is another strikeout. Strikeout number 4. So maybe King, that K there, the name King stands for strikeout because he's got 4 of them already. And here's Aaron Judge. 1-7, but there goes the no-hitter. That's going to be a big-time takeaway on a double for Aaron Judge. So the first Yankee hit comes with 2 outs in the 4th. It's a solid double for Aaron Judge. And that will bring up Giancarlo Stanton. They will not hold Judge at second base. 1-5, and that's a 1-10 single. That's an 18, though, so he's going to ground it to first. Cronenworth will step on the bag, and that'll do it. Yankees get their first hit, but they don't get anything else. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0. All right, here is Manny Machado. 5-6, and that's another strikeout, this time by Heel, his 4th. So both pitchers have 4 strikeouts, and here is Peralta. I think 2024 just showed up. 1-5, but that's a single for Peralta. Peralta's 2 for 2. I'll bring up Profar, designated hitter. That's a 1, so wild pitch chance on heel is an 8. And he does. He uncorks a wild pitch. That'll move the runner into scoring position. Profar now with 1 out and a runner at second. 2-7. Ground ball to short. Well, that wild pitch took the double play away, that's for sure. Ground ball to short, runner will hold, but that would have been a double play otherwise. So heel cost himself a double play by tossing that wild pitch. And now here's Kim. It's now a clutch situation with the runner at second. In the clutch, he loses a hit on 1-8 and on 2-12. It's 4-6, though, and it's another strikeout for heel, his 5th. And that's going to close out the 4th inning. We go to the 5th, it's 1-0 Padres. King, this is technically his fatigue inning, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here's Rizzo. He's 0 for 1. 5-3, left-handed ground ball pitcher X. Again, he's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. We're looking at the E8. E8 and a 10 is a good play. And that's going to be first out for Rizzo. Here's Volpe. 4-9, and that is a 1-10 single. That's a 14, though. He will line it right to Bogarts for out number 2. Verdugo, 2-11, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-5. That is a 5. Base hit for Verdugo. Second Yankee hit. First ding against the point of weakness of King. Here comes Austin Wells. 6-10. Remember, 6-12 was his injury chance. 6-10 is a fly ball center field X. That's Jackson Merrill. He's a 2-E3. 220, he'll get to that. E3 and a 7, you wouldn't think would be a problem. E3, nope, no 7 there, so good play from Merrill. And that's going to do it for the Yankees. So King will come back and pitch a 6th inning. Heel, his fatigue is also the 5th inning. And he will face Merrill, Campusano, and Azucar, bottom of the order. 6-7 lefty is a ground ball second base X. Torres, 4E19. 4-18 is good. He will get to that. And that's an 11, and he is an E19 as a second baseman. There is no 11, so Gleyber Torres will make the play. 1 down for Luis Campusano. 3-7, and that's a fly to left field. 2 down. And with 2 outs and the base is clear, it'll bring up Mr. Azucar, the replacement for Tatis. 6-7, right-hander. Ground ball second base X. We're back to Torres again, 4E19. 4-16, he'll get to that. E19 and 8, I don't think is a problem. Nope, there's a 6 there, but no 8. So good play for Torres, and Heel keeps full endurance into the 6th. So both our starting pitchers will go to their limit of 6 innings, or at least attempt to. King will be facing Cabrera, bottom of the order, then Torres and Soto. 2-8 for Cabrera is a 1-9 home run. That's a 1. It is gone. Oswaldo Cabrera has just tied this ball game, a solo shot. Pretty sure it's his first home run of the year. I can double check it, but I'm pretty sure it is. But look at it again, 2-8 with a 1. 2-8 on Cabrera is a home run, 1-9, and that's a 1. So the double die comes up again, rears its ugly head, but the Yankees will take it. We have a tie ball game. Cabrera, let's check him out on the replay. Yep, that's his first home run, his second run batted in. So Cabrera has tied this game, and now the Padre bullpen starting to loosen. We have Yuki Matsui loosening in the bullpen for the Padres. Left-hander. Torres 4-9, and that is a 1-10 single. That's an 18, so he lines it to Bogarts for out number 1. That'll bring up Juan Soto. 6-6, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for King. And here comes Judge. He come to Judge. He doubled his last time up. 5-12 is a ground ball first base X. We're looking at Cronenworth, a 2E8. 2 and a 7 should be okay. 2 and a 7 is a G2. And that is a 10 on the E8, so that should be no problem. Nope. So it's a 3-1 put out as Cronenworth will flip to King covering. That's going to do it for King. He gives up the home run to Cabrera to tie the score at 1. Kings go 6 innings. He's going to give up just 3 hits and a run. He did not walk anyone, and he struck out 5. So a very nice outing for Michael King. And now Luis Gil will be in his 6th inning of work, and he has been given a reprieve. He would have been the losing pitcher because of the home run he gave up to Cronenworth, but now he's back even. So his job is to keep the Padres off board. Here's Bogarts, 5-5, and that is a strikeout. He's not tired yet. He has not given up anything since hitting this point of weakness, so he's got full endurance. And that'll bring up Cronenworth. 1-3, and that's a ground ball to first base C. Rizzo will field it, flip to heel covering, 2 down for Machado, the third baseman. Now, once we get to the 7th inning, Fernando Tatis will be eligible to pinch hit. 4-8. That's a base on balls. First knock against Heel on his point of weakness. His 2nd walk of the game. Machado needs a 5 to get the lead. Does not get it. He will hold, and here's Peralta. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. 5-10, and that's a catcher X. That is Wells. He's a 3E8. 3 and a 12 for a catcher. 3 and a 12 for a catcher is a P/F, and that is an 11, and he's an E8. There is no 11. So P/F, I believe. Well, we're going to go to the wild pitch rating of the pitcher to determine if a pass ball has occurred. His wild pitch rating is an 8. We can roll a 1 to 8, then Wells lets one get past him. 17, he blocks it. So since there's no pass ball, there will be a foul out to end the inning. So Heel gets through 6 innings and a 1-1 tie. So King gets a no decision. Heel could possibly win it if the Yankees score in the top of the 7th. For Heel, he goes 6 innings, gives up the 1 run, which was the homer. Give it 1, 2, 3 hits. That's it, just the 3. Nothing else. He walked 2, and he struck out 6. So very fine outing for both starting pitchers. And now to the bullpen we go. It's going to be Stanton, Stanton, Rizzo, and Volpe, righty, lefty, righty. So they might not go to. They may not go right away to Matsui. They might go to a righty, but we'll see. Jeremiah Estrada. They're going to go to Jeremiah Estrada instead. So Estrada is going to come on. Jeremiah Estrada. And let's see how many times he's pitched so far. Estrada. This will be his 2nd game. He's pitched 1 inning so far in the replay. Gave up a hit, nothing else, walking a strikeout. And he is a -3 to go with Campusano's +1 for a -2 once again. So top of the 7th, tied at 1. Estrada against Giancarlo Stanton. 6-4. And it's ground ball shortstop X. And that is, let me see something here. Ground ball short. I'm around the verge here, so let me move just a tad. Ground ball shortstop X on the 6-4. Right there. Kim is a 2E16. 2 and a 15, he'll get to that. The E16 could be a problem because that is a 16. So we got a 16 checking a 16 at shortstop. But only 14 and 17 are errors. So as many 16 shortstops that we have in this game, this league, I should memorize that by now, that 14 and 17 are the 2 errors. Because there's several shortstops that have E16. Not to mention both these in the game right here. All right, here's Rizzo. 3-7, and that's a fly to center for Jackson Merrill. 2 down for Anthony Volpe. 3-10 for Volpe. That's a 1-12 double. That's a 17. It'll be a single for Anthony Volpe. 2-out single, and he's going to be looking to get the lead. He's 2 through 5 will get him the lead. He gets the lead, so he's a 19, being held to 17, -2 to 15. The T rating on Campus Island is only a 1, so there's not much of a risk to throw through. 1 to 15, he's safe. And he's in there. Stolen base for Volpe. And now he's in scoring position for Alex Verdugo. And now the Padres will make a move to a left-hander out of the bullpen. And they will go to the aforementioned Yuki Matsui. Lefty out of the bullpen to face the left-hander Verdugo. So Estrada is going to go 2/3 of an inning. A walk and a strikeout. No hits, but the runner is his responsibility. And now Matsui is going to come on, the left-hander. He's a -3, so it's again a -2. Verdugo and the runner at first and 2 outs. I'm sorry, no, he stole the base, didn't he? No, he didn't. Yeah, he did. He stole the base. I just didn't give credit for it. He's in scoring position. That's what I thought he was in. I wouldn't have brought a pitcher in otherwise if he wasn't in scoring position. But since he was in scoring position, that's why I brought the pitcher in. Matsui has pitched 1 game. He's gone 2/3 of an inning. He actually got the win in one of those games in relief. Gave up nothing. So he's looking to keep the Yankees. Oh, what am I doing down here? Stolen base was up here. Make sure I'm on the right side here. Verdugo's batting. Okay, Matsui facing Verdugo. Clutch situation in the clutch against lefties. He loses a hit on 2-10 and 2-2. That's a 1-11. It's ground ball to first, and Cronenworth got it. Flips to Matsui covering, and the inning is over. And Estrada gets away unscathed. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. And new pitcher coming up for the Yankees. We'll figure out who that's going to be. Padres have Profar, Kim, and Merrill. Switch right and left, so not much of an advantage one way or the other there. Let's look at their bullpen and make sure I'm not using somebody like a 4th time or something. So we are looking at Ferguson's only pitched one game. Weaver's only pitched 1 game. Do they want to go lefty or right is the question. How about Jake Cousins? Jake Cousins hasn't pitched at all, so they're going to bring in Jake Cousins. He's 2-1 with a 237 earned run average. Jake Cousins. And Cousins is a +1, Wells a -1 for a 0. So Jake Cousins will be facing Profar, Kim, and Merrill. And don't forget that Fernando Tatis is lurking on the bench. 6'8". Let me make sure that's not an injury check for Cousins. Let's see. Cousins for the Yankees. Cousins for the Yankees. Yep, he's a 6'12". That's what he is. So 6'8" is just fine. 6'8", switch everybody left is a walk. So Cousins will walk Profar, start the inning. And Profar is going to need to get a lead of a 6. He needs a 6 to get the lead. Oh, we got hopping, but he got the 6. So he's going to get the lead. I'll re-roll this to make sure. Yeah, okay. So he gets the lead, 1-17. And Being held to 15, 1 to 15. Wells is a T10, but they still have to throw through. That's a 16. He got caught stealing. Do you believe that? Profar out stealing. That's the second Padre that's been caught stealing in this game. He had a 1 to 15 chance and did not make it. Wells threw him out. So that'll bring up Hassan Kim, 6-7, and that is a walk. So second walk issued by Cousins, and now Kim is up to try to steal, even though he already got caught once. Actually, no, he's not. You know what? He's going to learn his lesson and stay there. Jackson Merrill's going to bat. 3-5, and it's a ground ball second base C. That'll get Kim to second base. But now they're 2 away for Campusano, but Campusano will not bat. Padres will go to the bullpen and bring out Fernando Tatis, who had to rest, but he's well rested for this at bat right here. He will pinch hit for Campusano, and then Kyle Higashioka will take over as the catcher. So big at bat right here for Tatis. He will pinch hit here in the 7th, and then Higashioka will catch in the 8th inning. All right, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. So it is a clutch situation for Fernando Tatis against Cousins. And in the clutch, he loses 3 hits there in column 3. So definitely not exactly clutch going on right here. Here is Cousins to Tatis, 6-7, and he walked him. First base was open, and he walked him. So Tatis will walk, and now it's up to Azokar to get it done. 3-3, and it's a split chance. 1 to 18 is a single. It's only 1 star, though. It's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs for Xander Bogaerts. And Cousins, you wonder if the Yankees want to stick with him or not. I guess they will. Try to get that 3rd out. That's a 1. So that's going to be an automatic wild pitch because Cousins has a 20. So Cousins just issued a wild pitch, and that brings in the go-ahead run for San Diego and moves runners into scoring position at 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Padres now lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-7, and that's a fly to center to end the inning, and that'll do it for Cousins. But the Padres reclaim the lead. It is an earned run. Pass balls are unearned, but wild pitches are earned. So Cousins ends up walking 3. No strikeouts. Gave up the run, and he gave up the 1 hit. So he's on the hook for the loss unless the Yankees can come back. Matsui only pitched a 1/3 of an inning, so he is good to keep going. And he'll be facing Wells, Cabrera, and Torres unless the Yankees want to pinch hit. But most of their better pinch hitters are left-handed, I think. Double check this. Well, they do have Grissom, Birdie, Dominguez, Trevino, and LeMahieu. But none of them seem to have a very good average. Birdie does at 273. Cabrera, 257. No, Cabrera's 247. But he's a switch hitter, so he could bat. So really, I think they're just going to stick with who they have. Yankees are going to stick with what they got. So here is Wells, 3-5 against Matsui, and that's a walk. Wells will draw the base on balls. He's not going to go anywhere. And that'll bring up Cabrera. And unfortunately, this seems to be on the bench for the Yankees that can bunt. Not really. Cabrera's C bunting is about the best they've got. You know what? They're going to bunt anyway. We're going to tempt fate and bunt, even with a C bunter. They're going to bunt. Padres are playing back because they don't believe they're bunting. They said nobody bunts in 2024, but the Yankees say we do. So the Yankees are going to bunt. See who it goes to. It goes to the first baseman, Cronenworth. Now, as a C bunter, he needs basically 8 or less. And 4 is good. That's actually, he could beat this out. That's a speed play. So he could beat this out. Cabrera's a 13. Batter lays down a great bunt and has a chance to beat it out for a single. Roll the 20-side dive, falls in his run rating. It's a single. So he's a 13. 1 to 13, he beats this out. He does. So how about that? Not only did they surprise him with a bunt, but he beats it out for a hit. And now first and second, nobody out for Gleyber Torres. And now Matsui's in a little bit of trouble. Gleyber Torres is not going to bunt. 4-2, and it's a ground ball first base X. Nobody being held on. So Cronenworth, his 2 is good. We could see a double play here. Except for the double die comes up as 2. Now we probably see a base hit. 2 and a 2, and we do. It's a single 1 star. It's going to load the bases. Double die strikes again. That's a 13, and he is a E8. No 13, but the bases are now loaded for Juan Soto. This is the last batter for Matsui. With the right-handers coming up, Judge and Stanton, Padres are going to their pen. And they will go to Robert Suarez. He's ready to go after this at bat. 2-1 lead, Padres. Bases loaded, nobody out. They're going to play back for the double play. They have to get an out. If they give up the tie and run, so be it, but they got to get an out. Matsui needs a strikeout in the worst way. 4-5. Doesn't get it. 4-6 would have been a strikeout. 4-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. And that is Kim. He's a 2E16. 2 and a 5. Double die doesn't cooperate anymore again. 2 and a 5 is a G3. So his only play, and it's a pound, but nobody's being held on. So the only play is at first. And that's a 7. And there's no error on the 7. But it's just going to be a 6-3 ground out. Everybody else will move up. It's an RBI ground out from Soto. And that's going to do it for Matsui. He is done. Scoring as well as going to third is Cabrera. And we have a tie game. And Robert Suarez will come on for the Padres, a right-hander, as he's going to be facing Aaron Judge. Actually, he won't face Aaron Judge. They will give him the free pass with first base open. That seems to make the most sense. So they're going to give him a free pass. Suarez is wondering why they just didn't let Matsui issue the free pass and then bring him in. They charged a free pass against him, but that's just the way it goes. All right, so bases are loaded with 1 out for Stanton. Now, Stanton, I guess he's a double play candidate. Runs in an 8, so they're going to play back for the double play. 1-7, but he's also a strikeout candidate, and Suarez got him for strikeout number 2. And that's going to bring up Rizzo. 2 outs now. 2 outs, and the bases are still loaded. Tie game at 2 here in the top of the 8th. Anthony Rizzo trying to get a little old magic out of his old body. 5-9, but he cannot. Suarez comes in and strikes out both guys he faces. And that's going to keep the Yankees at bay. It does get Cousins off the hook. Matsui's going to go 2/3 of an inning, and he's going to give up a single, 2 hits and a walk and a run, and no strikeouts. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2, and the Yankees will need a new pitcher. Padres will have Cronenworth, Machado, and Peralta, so they're looking for a lefty out of the bullpen. 2 out of 3 are left-handed, so Caleb Ferguson is the natural candidate. Left-hander Caleb Ferguson. And the more I play this season, I'm starting to learn more about the players. A little bit, not much. It's going to take longer than just 3 or 4 games to do that. All right. Oh, hi, Robert. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. I was focusing on the game, trying to get it done, because I know you're about ready to start yours, and I'm trying to get it done. All right, so Cronenworth is your batter against Ferguson. Tied at 2, bottom of the 8th we go. 5-11. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4E0. Well, can't make an error, but that 4 could be a problem. 4 and 11, he should be able to get to that, you would think. 4 and 11 for a pitcher is a G3, so he does get to it. Good enough. One away. Here's Machado. 411, right-handed. That's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Soto. He's a 3E2. 3 and a 7. Should get to that, I would think. 3 and a 7. Barely. He barely gets to it. That's an 8, and he is an E2, so that's not a problem. So Soto tracking it down, 2 down for Peralta. That's a 5-4, left-handed on left-handed, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Volpe. He's a 1. We know he's not going to. We know he can get to it. We're just checking for error, which are 14 and 17. I've memorized those by now. He's trying to avoid, but he got a 5. But I'm not worried about rare plays. It's an out, so I don't care. Not so rare plays. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. So Ferguson does his job. He goes his 1 inning, doesn't give up anything. And we go to the 9th. Suarez is going to hang in there. And he'll be facing Volpe, Verdugo, and Wells are the scheduled hitters here in the top of the 9th of a 2-2 ball game. Well, at least it's a close game one way or the other. 5-5. Well, maybe not anymore. 1-7's the home run. That's a 1. The double die strikes again. Do you believe that? Do you believe the double die did it again? 5-5. 1-7's a home run, and that's a 1. And Volpe has normal power. Volpe, home run, and the Yankees take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 9th. Unbelievable. All right, it's Verdugo. So Suarez is out of there. They're going to Peralta, a lefty, out of the bullpen. Too little, too late right now, though. But they're going to go to Wandy Peralta, a veteran lefty. He will be in there. He's a -3, so that makes him a -2. And he'll be facing Verdugo, Wells, and Cabrera. 1-7, and that's a strikeout. He strikes out Verdugo, 1 away. In the bottom of the 9th, the Padres will have Profar, Kim, and Merrill due up. That's a 6-9, and lefty on lefty again. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Kim. 2E16. 2 and a 14, he gets to it, and there is no 9 error on an E16. So he will make the play. 2 down for Cabrera. And I got to figure out who the Yankee closer is and bring him in. 4-6. Switch hitter batting right is a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So Peralta goes 1 inning. Peralta goes 1 inning with a strikeout, giving up nothing else. Let's see here. Suarez pitched 2/3 of an inning. Struck out 2. Walked 1 intentionally. Gave up the home run, the big blow. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Padres. And they'll have to do it against whoever the Yankee closer is. Check their stats and see who the Yankee closer is. Let's see here. Weaver had 4 saves. Clay Holmes, I think, is the closer. Yeah, he had 30 saves. Clay Holmes, he had 30 saves. So Clay Holmes is going to be the Yankee pitcher to try to close this thing out here in the 9th. -1, and a -1's a -2. Padres on the bench, if they so desire to try to get something started with a pinch hitter. They've already used Higashioka and Tatis, but they still have Tyler Wade and Eggy Rosario. And they also have, there's one other guy they're supposed to have too. Where did he go? They're supposed to have 5 guys out there, but now I don't know what happened to him. Oh, Campazano is the other one that's out of there. So, all right, so yep, Wade or Rosario. And quite honestly, neither one of them are better than what they've already got. So they're going to stick with the guys they have. And Jurickson Profar will be your batter. He is the DH. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Got caught stealing. 6-9. Make sure that's not an injury check on Holmes. I doubt it. New York. Holmes is a 1, so 6-12 is the injury on him. So 6-9, lefty. Fly ball to left field. 1 away. Hauled in by Verdugo. Here comes Hassan Kim. 233 average, but again, there's not much on the bench any better. 3-5 for Kim, and he's going to strike out. 2 down. Now it's all up to Jackson Merrill. Now he has some power. He had 24 home runs in 2024, so he could tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. Holmes, 2-7. It's not going to be a home run, but it'll be a base hit. 1-7 is a double. That's a 17, so he does get a single to extend the game. Now, he could try to get the steal. They've had 2 base runners caught stealing, but if you can get a guy in scoring position with 2 outs for Higashioka, and you can't pitch hit for him because you have no other catcher. So Higashioka has to hit. But if you can get a guy on second base, then all he needs is a single to drive him in. So they're going to see if he can get the lead. He needs a 7 to do so. Can't get the lead, moot point. All right, here's a guy, but he will be held. So here's Higashioka. His first at bat since coming in after they pinch hit for Campusano. Holmes, 4-3. Ground ball third base X. We're looking at Cabrera. He's a 2E15. 2E15. 2 and a 10. He should have that no problem. 2. Oops, wrong chart. Third base out here. 2 and a 10 is a G1. That's a 9, and he's an E15 third baseman. E15, there is no 9, so it's going to be a good play, and that's going to end the ball game. The Yankees come back and win it with 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to beat the Padres, and the Padres have to feel like they let one slip away right there. Suarez, the loser, 0-1. Ferguson's going to get the win. He's 1-0, and Holmes will get the save. I don't know how many saves it is for him. It might just be his first. I don't know. I'll have to double check it. 1 hit allowed, a strikeout, nothing else. So the final line score for the Yankees, 3 runs, and they managed on 6 hits. I don't believe there was an error on no, there's 1 error, I thought, but maybe not. I played a couple games offline today and I had an error, but this one does not look like it had an error at all. So Padres 2 runs and 5 hits, no errors. So there you go. Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win, as they say, as someone once said. They are now 3-1. Padres dropped to 2-2. Let me check Ferguson, make sure. Yep, he's 1-0. And Holmes does get his first save. In fact, this is the first game he's pitched in. So it is his first save. And Suarez, who is the Padre closer normally, this time he takes the loss. Let's see. Suarez is... that was his 3rd game pitch. He's going to have to rest the next game. But he's now 0-1. He's got 2 saves, but he's now 0-1. So not in by the long ball of Verdugo, and that will do it. So the Yankees win it 3-2. Game 16 is in the books. And game 17 will be somebody. I don't know who. Let me check the schedule. But we're going to have to go through the same process because I'm going to be doing the rest rolls. So I can't make a lineup ahead of time. I guess I could, but then it would be an awful lot of adjusting that would have to go on after the fact. So coming up, game 17, we'll figure out who that's going to be. Normally I go East Coast to West Coast, but I didn't mess with that today. I just picked a game. So let's see, we got the Dodgers and the Marlins, Cubs, Toronto, Minnesota, Oakland, or Kansas City, Pittsburgh. Could be either one, any of those. Although I'm thinking since Minnesota and Oakland, neither one of those were played on live stream. They were offline games. So I think I'm going to do Minnesota, Oakland next. That'll be game number 17. I have no idea who the starting pitchers are or anything. I don't know who the lineups are going to be because I got to do the rest rolls. But that's where it'll be. It'll be Minnesota and Oakland. That will be probably, if I can get around to it, tomorrow morning sometime. But I do appreciate you guys hanging in there through my little internet snafu when the game first started. It seemed like it held up the rest of the way, which was good. No more circles in the sand. We only had one appearance by Belinda Carlisle, just a cameo. Good thing it wasn't a full set. It was just a cameo. So that's going to do it from here. I know Robert wants to get his inside pitch game going. So Robert, the floor is now completely yours. I don't know if anybody else is streaming anything, but I'm certainly done for the night. I need to get stuff set up at least organically for game 17, get a couple things on the score sheet that I can fill in ahead of time, like the starting pitchers and the line score and stuff and the ballpark effects. But other than that, I got to wait and see what happens. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're having a great Monday wherever you are. And if you're so inclined to watch Inside Pitch, Robert, RJL Network, will be doing his 1999 replay. Another game of that will start in mere moments, and you can check that out. And if you haven't checked out the Inside Pitch Advanced games he's done, you might want to check those out too, just to see if you think you would like that kind of advanced game or not. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you do like it, apparently once you come around to it, it's from what I understand, it's maybe better than the original, but that's hard to say. I got no opinion because I haven't tried it yet, so don't know. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. I got to go check and feed Tabby and make sure she's all right, and take care of some things around here before bedtime, and that's about it. So again, thank you all for tuning in, for staying with me through the snafu. Yankees win it 3-2. Home run, top of the ninth by Volpe is the difference. Yankees 3-1. They are now a half game back of Minnesota, who is 3-0, but Minnesota plays Oakland. So if Oakland wins, Minnesota will drop to 3-1 and tie the Yankees. Again, it's early. Out of the 54 games, only play 4 for the Yankees. They got 50 games to go. So what are you gonna do? All right, that's good from here. Again, have a great evening. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.